Happy Oscar Sunday, everybody. Justin Watching Movies here. Today we're going to rank all 9 Best Picture nominations from worst to best leading up to the Oscars. Now at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my predictions on what is going to win Best Picture at the 2018 Oscars. Before we get this video started, make sure to leave your thoughts down below on what do you think is going to win the Best Picture and how would you rank all 9 of these movies. As always, we have a worst to best list. Now all these movies are really good. They're Best Picture nominees. They're going to be good. So I really enjoy each one of these movies in a different way, but we have to pick the worst one. So this one is not a bad film, but it is my least favorite Oscar movie. So we're going to start this list off with number 9, and that is Phantom Thread. This movie stars Daniel Day-Lewis in his last role, supposedly, and he does a fantastic job. This is some of the best acting this year. But when watching this movie, I got really irritated with his character, how he really brought this young girl into his life and into his world, and the progression of the relationship just really took a turn for the character, and it really brought out his true colors of who he really is. And their relationship wasn't a healthy relationship, and it turned out to be a really rough one, and I really got really irritated when watching this character. After watching this movie, that's all I could really think about is how irritated I was when watching this character. And movies could be really good. They could have a really good tone and a really good setting and all that. If a character really rubs you the wrong way, then it kind of affects your thoughts on the movie. But this movie definitely has some really good moments. It is shot beautifully, and the costume designs, the set location, the overall tone for this movie is terrific. So there are a lot of good things I loved about Phantom Thread, just not the character played by Daniel Day-Lewis. Coming in at number 8 is The Darkest Hour, which stars Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, and this also has some really good performances, and I do think that Gary Oldman will win Best Actor at the Oscars. But this movie just wasn't thrilling. I wanted it to be more of a suspenseful movie when it came to the subject matter that was going on. He became the prime minister, and I wanted there to be more of like intense moments of the things that were going on. There's literally a war going on, and I wanted to feel more about that. Coming in at number 7 is the new Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep movie, and that is The Post. I thought The Post was a really interesting movie. I love the moments of them questioning, should we release this paper? What could happen if we do? And I loved watching them kind of run a paper company and, you know, all the hard work that goes into it. I thought all of that was very interesting, but some of the dramatic moments didn't have that weight that I really wanted. They were kind of brushed off to the side and didn't really have a chance to shine, but I did love watching them build this paper company and really questioning themselves. Should we release this paper? You know, what could happen if we do? And I think a lot of those moments are great, and some of my favorite moments, Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep do a great job in this movie. Meryl Streep is very deserving of her nomination. She did a fantastic job in here. A lot of the times previously, I think that they just give Meryl Streep a nomination because she's Meryl Streep, but here, I actually think she did a good job. Coming in at number 6 is Dunkirk. Dunkirk is a really well-directed movie, a really well-edited film, but I feel like it's a one-time watch for me. I love the war aspects in here. I love how gritty this movie is, and it's shot beautifully, and you really just puts you into the moment of this war, and those moments really, really do shine. But when I was thinking about this list, I was thinking, just why is it so low? I really wanted to put it higher, but I just can't bring myself to want to re-watch it. And that's why I think it sits at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Get Out. Now, Get Out is the only movie amongst all 9 of these movies that I really, really wanted to watch again. I bought it on Blu-ray on Black Friday, but a couple months after that, I was sitting there one day like, I just really want to watch Get Out. And that's because this movie is very thrilling. It's a really deep psychological thriller, and Jordan Peele did an awesome job directing this movie. I love the acting, I love the message in this movie. The tone is just very creepy and disturbing. From beginning to end, Jordan Peele gives 100% in crafting this psychological thriller. Coming in at number 4 is Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name is a very sweet film with some really good acting, and probably one of my favorite end sequences of any movie last year, and mostly any year. I loved the ending of this movie and the dialogue between the father and son about love, and it was just so sweet. I love the progression of Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer's character. It was really rocky in the beginning, but it grew to be something very special and authentic, and I loved the development for this movie. It is a sweet film with some really good directing. And Call Me By Your Name was just a very emotional film. I love how these two characters found love at a time where they weren't expecting it. Coming in at number 3 is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Now this was a really good movie. It was funny at times, then it just completely became really dark. And that tone shifted so much throughout the movie, and it was so abrupt, but it worked so well for the movie. There's a lot of times where I'm just laughing, and then, oh my God, something's completely dark in this movie, and it works so well. Everything that this movie got nominated for was very deserving. The writing for this movie is really tight and allows for its characters to take control of it and really get you invested in this movie. I was so on board with what Frances McDermott was doing and how she cared about her daughter and her trying to get the cops to figure out what had happened. Every single moment in this movie I was invested in. Coming in at number 2 is Lady Bird, directed by Greta Gerwig. This is a really good movie. Movie that we've seen plenty of times, but somehow it was different. It was authentic, it was real. The dialogue written by Greta Gerwig was terrific. It reminds me so much of her acting. It's long takes of just talking, and that's why I think this movie just feels so different than others. Is it just feels authentic. It just feels so real and personal. Saoirse Ronan, does a fantastic job in this movie. She's a really good actress, and I loved every moment about Lady Bird. It was funny, it was real, it was dramatic. It had a lot of things in this movie that really worked. Coming in at number 1, the best movie of this list, the best movie at the Oscars this year, and that is The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water was a throwback. It was a love letter, and it just was so beautiful. I don't think people making love with monsters is something that I found to be truly beautiful. But this character played by Sally Hawkins, she was mute. She felt like she just didn't have a place in the world. No one really understood her, and she felt like the monster was the only person that really understood her, and that was fine. She found something that she loved. She found something that she could really bring herself. She found something that she could really connect with, and I thought that was beautiful. I think that this movie was written so well. The musical score was terrific. The acting, the tone, the look of this film, everything about this movie just was a standout for me. I just felt so connected to the storyline and so invested and so involved. This movie was just so beautiful, and I got lost in this movie, guys. It's perfect, and it's one of my favorite movies of last year. It was actually my second favorite movie of last year. It's my favorite movie. So there you guys have it, all 9 Best Picture nominations ranked worst to best. How would you rank these movies? Now, I'm going to share with you guys what I think is going to win Best Picture. It's a toss-up for me between Get Out, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and The Shape of Water, but when I had written down my predictions, I went with The Shape of Water, and I think that it could be 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I also think it could be Get Out, but I will be happy for whatever wins because all these movies are really great. Thank you guys for checking out my ranking video for all 9 Best Picture nominations. Make sure to leave your list down below. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.